Standing on a giant shoulder, you see much further than a giant. So I got the whole rap world on my shoulder. They trying to see further than I am. And I have been trying to be patient with their preoccupation with David and Goliath. But sooner or later, that patience gonna run this course, and I'm forced to be a tyrant. Let me a tyrant coming through your environment. Iron mask, nigga, iron gas, nigga, iron back.
What the same? No, iron that. Y'all not iron that. Clearly cause the rain ain't gone, the dynasty. No, not me, but Sean. Yeah, the reason we got a gang with green. If there's better with getting shutted up, remains to be same, nigga. Ooh, chill, chill. Back to the future, got explore for my present, I'm fast. Niggas can't get past my past. How they supposed to deal with the perfect present? When I unwrap it, giving the curse in one session. Ain't it living? Only two residents in heaven can be mentioned in the same breath as them. 7 states. Might not admit it, but nobody will fight like I did it. If you did it, I've done it before. You get it, I had it. Got mad at it and don't want it no more. And that goes from everything for flipping it raw. Flipping horse, flipping both full cars, gon' get it, twisted, get it. In my absence, cats get absent-minded. Never trying to remind them when I'm in the position that I am. Changing the game. Well, after I'm gone, upheld the honor. History in the making. Pistol P lead competition shaking without listening to beat. Boom. Don't let me forget. The watch face so blue, it's like it's holding its breath. Can't see me. The check. It's the bow tie flow, dog. I bring it to your neck. Live and direct, I will bring it to your set. I got now, I don't care who got next. Rapper / exec, what else do it? Your flow. Useless. Who will get back to who will get fooling you? All the faggots you taking us backwards. I'm trying to prod us with this rap shit. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Okay, so what do we have today? We got a bunch of lying scams. And Hobie's home. Roz Elite is home. M. Roz Elite. ARE movement. Not to be confused with no funny Israelite movement. Hebrew movement, none of that. Don't confuse me. You know, I stay who I am on my own. I don't need nobody to speak for me. Okay, so what we dealing with today, what we gonna deal with today is the fact that Pharaoh title is the greatest Egyptian lie. So we have the pharaohs. We have young pharaohs. And we know that Pharaoh was Pra. And none of the kings used it as a title. So we have a bunch of fantastical Negroes, Afrocentrics, coming up with these false interpretations just so they can get money and act like they're a part and parcel of the ancient Egyptian heritage, which is a goddamn lie. Now, me, myself, personally, I think Pharaoh mean cathouse. I think it's the head of the cathouse. I think we dealing with probably some prostitution harem, like kings and they harem. The king warrior men and the harems. So these is the most rich men on the earth. Clearly they gonna have the most beautiful or access to the most beautiful women. So we dealing with Pharaoh and broke down and interpreted by professionals in the Middle East, so-called Middle East. And we have the Pan-African Hotep community, Afro-American, African, Pan-African community, who does not speak Arabic. They don't speak Jez. They don't speak Amharic. So they claim to be African, but they're not, even versed in any African language. So we have to use that against them. You have Jabari Osaze, a master Egyptian teacher who does not speak Arabic. And we know that the glyphs is connected to the old the old language of the Phoenicians and the Maghreb. The Maghrebi people actually speaks this fucking so-called hieroglyphic language. But they disown them because of their complexions of, olive hue. They have different complexions and tend to be lighter skinned. So the black Pan-African community do not claim the so-called Arabs or the Maghreb people. And the Arabic can be used to translate the hieroglyph. And it's being done right now at this moment and other means to achieve this. So as we know right now, Pharo or Pharaoh is a female, and it has nothing to do with the king. So as we can see early on in this video, young Pharaoh is not a young Pharaoh. That means he is a goddamn lie. And since we have to hold it against him, we got to hold it against you for enabling him. And that's why we say you got the low IQs, and the Aboriginals too. Okay. So we can move on from this. We can move on from this because we know for a fact that young Pharaoh is not a Pharaoh. He's a Looney fucking Tune. A young Looney Tune. And we don't have to really emphasize on the man's character far as sexuality and masculinity and femininity, because we know already that he's confused. So we don't have to delve that deep. We don't have to go past somebody who already told one lie. So we know he don't know shit about no Egyptology. He don't know Arabic. The people who live in that region, he's not fond of them. He don't know about Amharic, Jez. He don't know about original Latin, old Latin. He don't know nothing. He's just somebody playing and y'all playing with him. So we got young Pharaoh. Okay. Let's look him up. Let's look him up. Young Pharaoh. Okay, we on his head. Okay. Young Pharaoh, Nature Boy says child molestation is good and spiritual for children. Okay. Young Pharaoh explains. Young Pharaoh massacre by Prince Short. Okay, let's go to Young Pharaoh. Okay, we seen Young Pharaoh Productions. I don't know shit about that. The fuck the hell is he producing? Claims he's Jesus. Hypnotism cure. Okay, we got a good glimpse on this guy, but he's pretty popular. Let's see this. Young Pharaoh. Let's see this, so I can go on with my video. Cause I cracks myself up sometimes doing these videos, knowing that these dudes are straight scam artists and motherfuckers is just letting them get away with this shit. Young Pharaoh. So I get a kick out of doing this shit, cause I know nobody's really gonna care, and he's not really gonna care, cause he's gonna keep doing these lectures and getting money. Okay, so now he's the Aten family. The Aten family introduction. The Aten family, Las Vegas. You see him? He's in Los Angeles trip and lecture. The Aten. So now he thinks he's the Aten family. So you see what's going on? We have some people who is not a part of the initiation process. They're not Moors. They not Arab Muslim. They not Turk. They not Canaanite. They not none of the original founders of the Egyptian empires. They don't have nothing to do with Islam, but they just using the same names. Because we know Aten means Noah, right? So this is lesson time for y'all. This is education time for y'all. You know what I'm saying? You learning right now. You're not getting no fuckery that you get from the Black Power cartel and the Hotel Fantasy World characters. You really getting research. You know what I'm saying? People who done read books. You know, that's why we be so angry, because we have to fucking read the books. They just fucking get the credit. You know, when we come up with findings and put it on the YouTube, put the pictures up, these motherfuckers make a compilation and they get all the credit for it. And these niggas don't know shit. So it's time to bring it to an end. So we have the fact that the Pharaohs was the women and the cathouse. And we have the fact that young Pharaoh thinks he's a 10. So let's prove that he's not a 10. He's not no fucking the 10 family. He's not no Egyptian. He's not no Kemet. We gonna end him, and then we can get on Jabari Osaze. These goofy ass niggas, man. I don't have time for this shit. Man, why is this shit even right here? This shit up out of here. This shit should just go away. I don't know. Go away. This shit finna be right here. Okay. Let's go right here. So I can get this video out the way. This don't have to be long. Let's just get on young Pharaoh. Okay. Where is King of Kenneton at? King of Kenneton. Queen Tia name is Tantrum. Okay. We have a Kenneton never really a fucking existing. You understand what I'm saying? A Kenneton don't exist. Okay. So, let's deal with one more fact before we get up out of here with these translations. And I got an Ethiopian professor whose channel I've been subscribed to for years, who's going to help me with the Amharic. And I'm going to be able to expose more Pan-African lies and Hotep dreams that they don't have shit to do with any of this. You know, any of this Egyptian shit, the Pan-African Hotep Fantasyland dudes, it's just like tourists who are like fanatics, like Assyrians. They visited the temples and then they became so enthused and overwhelmed by the presence. They started making cults. They started becoming cults and they don't know shit about this shit. Just like young Pharaoh don't know shit about this shit. King Stuff Natives, Nadad. I'm looking for something else. Ramses Fad-Il, Ramses the Fifth, Saud, Shadid, Tutmosis Mazir. That's why Mizraim is named after Tut. Okay, now Queen T. I'm looking for Queen Kemet is named after Tia. That's what I'm looking for. I'ma find it. I'm definitely gonna find it. I'm on Dream. The Queen Tia name is Tant Sneferu. Ram. Pharaoh. Cartoons. I know where it's at. I know where it's at. Oh my goodness, man. I just seen it. I might not be able to show it today, but I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Oh, here you go. Here you go. This is the bust down. Okay, basically the purpose of this is to show with translation that these mythical characters created by Egyptologists is all mainstream nonsense. Okay? So basically what that means is these dudes is out here pushing the bullshit of the mainstream. You know, making them fraud just like the mainstream. And I'm going to prove that with factual evidence that it's mainstream and it's unacceptable. Alright? So young Pharaoh living a lie. All the Egyptologists is living a lie. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. You know, they can keep guessing all they want, and you can reward them for guessing. Or you can reward those that do in-depth research that really know what's going on. Alright. So, it's your choice to keep on funding these idiots. You know, or you can help shut them down. So we can get the truth in. You know, we definitely can get the truth. So, we can prove this out of Africa theory is just a lie. We can get a hold to the Pan-African scammers and get them out of our way so the indigenous Americans can claim this land in America. That's what this is all about. Because we not going to really go back and forth with them. You know, we going to shut them down. You know, we going to shut them all the way down. So, that's what I'm about to do right now. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Let's shut them down. Is this it? Scientific evidence. Okay. Let's deal with this right quick. And we can shut the video down because I don't want it to be too long. And I'm gonna read this. Scientific evidence refuting the theory of modern humanity's African genesis is common knowledge among those familiar with the most recent scientific papers on the human genome, mitochondrial DNA, and Y chromosomes. Regrettably, within mainstream press and academia circles, there seems to be a conspicuous and, dare we say it, deliberate vacuum when it comes to reporting news of these recent studies and their obvious implications. Okay, so their obvious implications would destroy the out of Africa cash cow. They got these people going back to Africa, traveling to Africa, fake motherland, and the rest of these fanatics who created this Africa illusion, you know, selling it to everybody else. So the whole out of Africa myth has its roots in the mainstream academic campaign in the 1990s. Notice around 1990s, you know, they was pushing everything, crack, drugs, everything to confuse you, to put you under the spell. Now, mission accomplished. They got you thinking you from Africa. From the 1990s to remove the concept of race. When I did my degree, they all spent a lot of time on the out of Africa thing, but it's been completely disproved by genetics. Mainstream still hold on to it. So we got real scientists putting their credentials on the line, standing up to the mainstream belief of out of Africa when it's been disproved by genetics. So we have to hold Jabari Osaze and young Pharaoh and anybody else accountable that's teaching the nonsense, because they got to deal with this, because with sources we have, you know, evidence of the lie. So we're going to have to keep on banging on the lie, you know, every day until we get these dudes about our realm in America so we can move on. Because we know Africa is not a motherland, and we know somebody's stealing. We know they over here dealing and killing. So it did begin the early 90s, and the academics most responsible for cementing both the out of Africa theory and the complementary common ancestral African mother, given the name of Eve, in the public arena in nearly every curriculum were professors M.C.I and Rebecca L. Kant. So Eve, whenever you hear these out of Africa niggas, whenever you hear these fake extremist niggas talking about Eve, the black woman, it never even existed. You understand what I'm saying? So I have to start a new protocol to deliver news that's constantly reciting and emphasizing on the lie that all of y'all have living, thinking that a fucking Eve exists, and no Eve exists. That mean that Bible shit is a fucking lie too. So it ain't no Eve. It ain't no out of Africa. That shit's over with. If you ain't explaining it correctly, it's a lie. So we have right here, I'm going to repeat, Professors M.C.I and Rebecca L. Kant. In their defense, the authors of this paper were fully aware that genealogy is not in any way linked to geography, and that their replacement of Eve in Africa was an assumption, never an assertion. It was an assumption, never an assertion. That means it's not guaranteed, so we can't go off that. In their seminal paper, The Recent African Genesis of Humans, they even stipulated that all humans today can be traced along maternal lines of descent to a woman who lived about 200,000 years ago, probably in Africa. So how's it that there probably has morphed into our collective? Definitely. Ask yourself that question. How is it that there probably was morphed into our collective? So these two professors, mind control engineers, Professors Alan C. Wilson and Rebecca L. Can, had a probably or a might that has become your reality. So they changed your lives with a probability. So that you're probably monkeys from a jungle. You're probably inferior. You're probably weak and you need government to take care of your weak ass. So over time, when the two researchers came to discover that the research of original mitochondrial DNA was fundamentally flawed, both separately conducted further tests on mitochondrial DNA found within the blood of full descent original people, arriving at the same conclusion, but both recanted their previous assumption by acknowledging that Homo sapiens originated in Australia. So we have the scientific community, real scientific community, that knows females trace their roots to Australia. We know females trace their roots to Australia, not Africa. And this is what the genetic test has confirmed, not mainstream historical media. So we have the choice to listen to the scientists that's going with the out of Africa, that's going against out of Africa, or we have the choice to listen to the Masons and the other groups that need you to be stupid so they can capitalize off your lunacy. So your choice has come today. You have the choice to choose up between Jabari Osaze and young Pharaoh and the rest of these Egyptian Hotep Pan-African idiots, because I'm exposing them all. It's a wrap. I'm not playing. It's over with. We got the facts, and I got more information that we can, we can emphasize on, and we can get these niggas off the YouTube with facts. We can prove these niggas as frauds. You know what I'm saying? It's not a game no more. It's not a game no more. I'm not playing. I'm putting the hammer down, as often as I can, because we have the Mara, the people who have the rock paintings and the other proofs in this place called Australia, who look like us, and they call themselves the Mara. And when you sit up here and say the Africans is older than them, you taking away the real heritage. You taking away the real birthright of the people who older than the Africans, who got more say on this earth of what should be done. So we giving the power to the Africans when it shouldn't be. The Africans should not have the power, and the Africans is gonna lose the power fucking with me. The Africans is not gonna beat me. You understand me? That shit is over with. So we have Jabari Osaze and Pharaoh who got to go. I ain't playing with you. Osaze. Okay, we have Jabari Osaze. Okay. Matter of fact, let's go to Sinetta TV. I think he had a video recently. So this video can be over with. And I could just hammer on them little videos instead of doing 2 hour videos. Let's do Sinetta TV. Sinetta TV. Jabari Osaze visits. What's this nigga name? Marcus Garvey home. I'm on top of these niggas, man. Fucking lame ass niggas. Watch this shit. This disrespectful ass fraud.
These
on top of these fraud ass niggas
taking $100 million from them, shortchanging our students and
this disrespectful nigga, man.
Fight with them all hours of the day, the comings and goings. They had a pen full of 10 pit bulls in the back as their early warning system. It was rough. It was rough. And then finally we fought with the owner. The owner prevented that from happening. It sat vacant for a long time, and it was recently sold. It is now on the market again for $2.8 million.
hardest working man.
How do I describe it? He's probably New York City's best known promoter. So that when black folks have an event, King Simon is the one that... We have still not found a way to protect the monuments of our historical icons. We haven't found a way to protect those locations. Most important political organizers in the history of black people worldwide, the history of black people, perhaps in our history that goes back tens of thousands of years. There's almost no one that could organize black people on several continents. That's what Marcus Garvey did. This is where he lived. And this is the condition it's in. In some ways, it is emblematic of our condition. So much potential, but completely untapped.
But there's something behind that, right? Somebody hasn't bought the property and try to build it out.
My understanding, and I'm gonna...
We don't have to watch Jabari Osaze because you can go watch him your damn self. But I'm going to show you where he flawed at and where he thinks that I'm going to fall for his Illuminati Masonic agenda. You know, I'm not falling for that shit, Jabari Osaze. And people who follow me not going to follow. It's not going to fall for that shit. Let me show you why we don't give a good goddamn about no Marcus Garvey. Let me show you. Marcus fucking Garvey. Marcus Garvey convicted of wire fraud. Okay. I'm sure Wikipedia gonna tell his business. One thing about them, they gonna tell the niggas business. Okay. Marcus Mosiah Garvey was a Jamaican-born political leader, publisher, journalist, entrepreneur, and orator. He was president general of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. So he was trying to improve Negroes. So you got to look at the fucking wordplay. He wasn't trying to improve free people with nationalities. He was trying to improve Negroes and African Communities League. He also was president and one of the directors of the Black Star Line. So Garveyism, Rastafari movement. Okay, he inspired all types of others. Early years. Organization of UNI investigation, arrest, and assassination attempt. Let's read that. Taking the hospital. Okay, Marcus Garvey. Marriage and family. Views on communism. Conflict with Du Bois and others. Charges of mail fraud. See, that's what I want to get to. I know they gonna read his storyline. He had the family growing up. He had to take care of the kids. He had to, overcome white supremacy. He had to help the black Negroes. I know you're gonna feel sorry for him. You understand? But I'm gonna tell you where we bump heads at. And maybe you can analyze my side of the story and not be so judgmental. You understand? So I'm not just gonna bash y'all leader. That y'all chose to make y'all leader by default. But he's not my fucking leader. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because he was convicted of mail fraud. And what he did was he took $3 million, the equivalent of about $30 million back then, and he told people he was going to relocate them to Africa and other places to build the Negro diaspora. Did you know that the money came up missing? And he had to serve 5 years in federal prison? Did you know that? And he was convicted? So, did you know when they asked him where the money was, he said he didn't know where the money was? Now, I don't know if somebody tricked him and stole the money from him and he was just an honest black guy, but it happened. He probably got duped. They used him to steal the money and arrest his ass, or he stole the money. That's all I know. So he got convicted. So the trial began 1923, May 18th, U.S. District Court of New York. Okay. Grant. In Garvey's interminable 3-hour-long address, he portrayed himself as an unfortunate and selfless leader, surrounded by incompetents and thieves. So Garvey blamed it on everybody else. He didn't take the blame for it in federal court. And if you don't accept responsibility in the federal court, your ass is out of there. So that's all I wanted to read. Okay, let's see if they put the amount on there. Because I looked that up. We definitely need to know how much he took before I go. Because I know for a fact it was $3 million. And we can move on from Marcus Garvey. Like how we can move on from Sarah Sudi, Young Pharaoh, and Jabari Osaze. So, Jabari Osaze, we don't give a good goddamn about Marcus Garvey house, nigga. He better take that $30 million, nigga, and fix his own goddamn house, nigga, because this shit about money. We don't care about his message after he done stole, nigga. You feel me? Like Farrakhan and the rest of these niggas out here stealing, nigga. All these preacher reverend ass, whole ass niggas out here stealing, nigga. We need warriors, nigga, and general fighters, nigga. We don't need no motherfucking orators, nigga, and no motherfucker speaking us to death, nigga, talking us to death, nigga. Our women already talk us to death, nigga, in our houses, nigga, giving us wisdom. You feel what I'm saying? So, we have this nigga stealing, and he died and got buried in London, you know, and he influenced a gang of idiots. A gang of these all boule ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? So, the Moorish Science Temple of America, they even give honors to this nigga. When he's like John the Baptist. He paved the way like John the Baptist in the Bible. You feel what I'm saying? He was the forerunner to Jesus. So they use him as a symbol of him being the forerunner to Drew Ali. Other than that, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I claim my Moorish roots, but that don't mean that I gotta honor a motherfucker who did something wrong. You know, he went to crime and did it. He did his time. You know what I'm saying? He did the crime and did his time. You know, but when you steal 30 million, I'm not messing with you. You not finna be no nigga that I'm finna be like, oh, you the man. Nigga, I don't know what he did with that 30 million. All I know is I know he duped Negroes in America. I know Africans stay duping Negroes in America. You niggas stay scamming us, nigga. The African scams is over with. So how much did Marcus Garvey steal? How much money did Marcus Garvey steal? Oh, did I step in the wrong? Hey, come on now. Come on now. Okay. Okay, they definitely not gonna let you know how much he stole. But he definitely stole some millions. You probably got to research yourself. So we can get up out of here. We pretty much got the picture of what's going on with the Pan-Africans. You know, they want us to follow their agenda just because we got brown skin. You know, they're saying you're an idiot. You can't think for yourself. You can't research for yourself. Just believe their curriculum is black. Trust the black curriculum. Well, I'm here to say fuck the black curriculum. Fuck Pan-Africa. Fuck the African history, heritage. I'm all about America. You know, and people shouldn't hate me for being all about America. No, I love America. I'm not going back to Africa or Ghana or Guinea. I would rather go to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. You know, I would rather be over here. So, I'll pass on Africa. I want to experience America first before I get to traveling over the waters and stuff. So, anyway, we have the Out of Africa is alive with proof. Let's deal with that with proof. We can go over this. I pretty much went over the video. Now I'm summing it up. Humans did not evolve from a single population in Africa. Australian Aboriginals are the first world people. Ancient cave paintings clinch the case for Neanderthal symbolism. That means first symbolism came from Neanderthals, not Homo sapiens. Australian Aborigines are Neanderthals. Clearly they would have melanin, eumelanin, not albinos. This is what the scientists are saying. They don't give a good goddamn what the Pan-Africans are saying, because the Pan-Africans is not scientists. They fucking idiots. Cheek and Tajop already exposed these idiots. So, we have Out of Africa is a lie with proof. And on top of that, my people, with sources, we know exactly who came up with the Out of Africa lie. Who pushed it into the mainstream, my people. So we have Alan C. Wilson and Rebecca L. Cann, history authors, who authorized the African genesis of humans. And they stipulated all humans can be traced along maternal lines to Africa, not nobody else. So that is on them. And of course, Darwinism. So we don't have to believe that shit, people. If you catch my drift, if you know anything about American birthrights, you better catch on to my goddamn drift. Because these Africans ain't playing on getting your goofy ass to go with them to Africa. If you already straight in America, what the fuck is you going to Africa for? Why in the fuck do you even care about Africa? Why do you care about white history? You know what I'm saying? The Out of Africa theory is irresponsible. Okay, so let me go ahead and shout out this video. Okay. We have Alan C. Wilson, Rebecca Cann, and the Out of Africa theory. is a straight joke on niggas' heads. You know, and we have the Hotep community. We have Out of Africa is a Lie. Okay, what did I want to show? I had some damning information on the African, on the Hoteps, and it just crossed. It's just, okay. Here it is, my Hoteps. Okay, I got 2 more things I'm gonna cover, and I'm just gonna cover them for the next few weeks. I'm not gonna release any more videos about individuals. I'm just gonna review the facts. What Obama really saw at the door of no return, a disputed memorial to the slave trade. Okay, so basically, this fucking place in Ghana that this African nigga did a video on the other day is a fucking hoax. It is not a slave castle. Now here it is with facts. Okay, the door was the point out of which many, perhaps millions of African slaves took the final steps from their home continent and onto the slave ships that would bring them to the New World. If they even survived the journey, or that's the story according to Gory Island's official history anyway, the truth may actually be far more complicated. No one doubts the vast scale of horrific consequences of the transatlantic slave trade, which destroyed countless communities in Africa, tore families apart, forced millions into bondage, and killed perhaps 1 in 10 just during their voyage across the ocean. But it turns out that Senegal's famous door of no return might actually have played a very significant role in that story. Okay, so we have the fact that this fucking World Heritage Site that get government funding is fake on Gory Island. So no slave ever walked on this shit. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. They have historical studies, according to Austin and other academics who spoke to the HP, suggest that 33,000 slaves were transferred from Gory Island. A huge number to be sure, but a tiny fraction of what the island's official history claims. We talking official history. We're not talking about mainstream shit. You know, they blow up numbers to epic proportions. So, and of those, perhaps 0 removed from the house of slaves or out of its door to no return. So historians say the door faced the ocean so that the inhabitants of the house could chuck their garbage into the water. The AP says no slaves ever boarded a ship through it. The historian Ana Lucia Orejo told the news agency, "It's not a real place for where real people left in the numbers," they say. Historians first uncovered the apparent truth about Gory in the 90s, but almost right around Rebecca L. Cann and Alan C. Wilson's time at the African Genesis, this fucking story came out. So, but almost 20 years later, the site's emotional power is still strong, as is its prominence placed in a history that it's actually had very little to do with. But that might be about something much bigger than just the persistence of a myth or the challenge in overturning to too good to be a true story. So, as academics downplayed the historical role of Gory in the past centuries, a very different kind of scholar began to study its significance today. For Africans and members of the African diaspora, Katharina Scram, in the book of the role of history in African ideologies today, called the door of no return, a symbol of the cultural amnesia and sense of disconnection that slavery and the Middle Passage stand for. So, even though the slavery part didn't happen, symbolically they can show how people don't really know shit and they'll believe anything. So we have this myth of Gory Island being a slave pass portal being contested as a myth. So, and we have names to go with it. We have the historian Ana Lucia Araujo, because the J is silent, I'm sure it's Latin, and she's saying the door of no return is fake. Even Obama been there, so we are sure that Obama knows the truth by now, because even Michelle Obama was crying at one of these slave ports. And what historians are saying is it's a myth that was made up, and a lot of people are jumping the gun, really believing it because somebody else is telling them. And what we saying is man knows nothing by being told. All this shit is fake. No slaves ever boarded a ship through this island on Gory Island. What is famous as the door of no return, what people go and visit as a heritage spot, is really fake. It's an illusion. It's been contested. So mainstream is going to keep it alive to keep getting funding off of it. What we saying is they'll never challenge any real historian. You would never challenge me. You would never give me the credit that I deserve for bringing this to light. So we're going to assume that you're idiots. We're going to assume that Jabari Osaze is an idiot. We're going to assume that young Pharaoh was an idiot. You understand what I'm saying? We not gonna keep playing with y'all. You can keep on telling me that I'm lying, but science is saying that you're just useful idiots. And guess what is gonna happen to useful idiots? Your ass is gonna be treated as such, like a fucking useful idiot. So we have the Africans saying that, you know, everybody come from Africa. And we have the Pan-African belief of the out of Africa theory. And we have proof through genetics that that's a lie. We have the proof that historians went on with the out of Africa theory anyway. Even though we have proof that geography cannot determine genealogy. So now we have to expose the Pan-African people in groups that is pushing the out of Africa and African civilization theory, which is all lies. So we have Bantu is a type of person. A Bantu is not a nation or a language. So when they say the Bantus or you come from the Bantus, you don't come from Bantu, because Bantu only mean person. So when they say that you come from the Bantu, they are only saying that you come from the person. What language do Bantu people speak? The Bantu languages are spoken in a very large area, including most of Africa from southern Cameroon eastward to Kenya. So their languages is Shona, Xhosa, and Zulu. Rundi, Rwanda. So no Bantu people really exist. Basically what they are saying is the persons in this area, the person's language of this area. So that's all Bantu mean is the persons. You understand what I'm saying? You have been tricked. There is no Bantu people. The Bantu people is the Rwanda and the Rundi. You know you not Rwanda. You know you not Rundi. You know you don't speak Shona, Xhosa, or Zulu. You fucking liars. You not Bantus. You not Swahili. You a fucking liar. It's over with. All the games is over with. So, Marcus Garvey is a scam artist. He's not a leader. Jabari Osaze is a fucking liar. So, we have the fact that Sub-Saharan Africa never had a written language or civilization prior to the arrival of the Amara, Sultanate, Shawana, the Muslims. So they claim to be Africans blindly, but they claim not to be Islam. But what they know without Islam, they would have nothing. They would have no civilization. So they better be lucky that they have Shumam and Bumam and Bamun. And did you know that it comes from Amhara and Cheek and Sajab? Right here. Look. Cheek and Sajab, he connected the common signs between Mandate and ancient Egypt. And he connected the same glyphs with the Bete writing. So we have a bunch of lying ass motherfuckers. So they don't have no civilization. They get it from India. They get it from the Moors. That's why they have to continue to discredit the Moors. They have to hide the Moors because they will have to give Moors the credit. That means they don't own shit. They don't have ownership rights to nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So Jabari Osazi don't have a civilization. Ancient Egyptian is not his. Kemet is named after a woman. It's a woman's territory. Mizraim is named after King Tut. All of these names is fake as hell. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on top of this shit. You know, and that's why I'm not African American. That title is reserved for idiots. And I'm here to free you people. So, since I got perfect timing, we can touch down on Roz Elite. We can touch down on Roz Elite and what a little bit of what Roz Elite is before I leave. You know, gotta close out on a good note. Because I just shut them down once again. Just shut them down. So Ra is the father of the universe. And I'm definitely it's his offspring. And if Ra is the sun above and I have my third eye, it's just more wordamatics. So is Ra's elite Israelites? I don't know what a Hebrew is or what a Hebrew talking about. That's on them for that time period. But I got you melanin. And I don't sunburn. Okay, I actually turn brown to light brown all year long. So I'm loving my complexion. So a Ra's elite is someone who is conscious and he's aware of these signs and times of the end of the evil one. And he's aware that the fourth angel poured out his bowl and the chosen were allowed to begin to scorch mankind with fire. Gentiles were seared by the end's heat and cursed God's name who controlled the plagues, but they refused repentance. And the beast's kingdom was plunged into darkness for eternity. Revelation 16, 8, 9, and 10. So Israelites is just more wordamatics on Ra's elite, the chosen people, and Ra's elite. So don't get caught up in that Bible mania. Don't let them misinterpret the Bible. They illiterate. They don't have a civilization. All their written languages come from Asiatics and Indians. They don't have nothing, those damn Pan-Africans. And they're in America causing confusion. They don't even want to go back to Africa, even though Ghana is letting them come back. Ghana, this is how fake they are. Ghana allows African Americans to come home. Ghana is some fake ass shit. I already proved it. Look, African Americans are going to Ghana. Ghana welcomes African Americans back home. So they can go to Africa. They can just pop up over there instead of getting in our indigenous business. But they don't even want to go back. So you mean to tell me Ghana welcomes Africans back to the motherland? They love the motherland so fucking much. But they don't even want to go back. Look, you're asking for a donation. I ain't giving you nothing. Get out of here. The year of the return, 2019. It's time to go back. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, addressing the audience at the Year of Return launch program. So I just proved to you that Goree Island is fake. Ain't no slaves come to Goree Island. And this same place wants you to come home. So ain't no slaves is even coming from there. So we have Ra the light who sent me the light. Who's sending me the light. So he can wake up some of y'all who got the light. Because we don't give a damn about them idiots. Who don't know who they are. Because Ra's my father, not Addo Adakwe. You feel me? You melanin is pure light itself in solid form. So they taking your dark skin and moving you away. Because the sun radiation, your light radiate and it turns the white people's skin red and give them sunburn just by living around them. So they hate your presence. That's why they turn red around you. That's why they want you all to go to Africa. Your melanin is worth $365 per gram. And Caucasians have a higher concentration of enzyme inhibitors suppressing melanin production. So if they have enzyme inhibitors suppressing melanin production, but your melanin is worth $365, that goes to show you how special you are. So that's where the Israel's elite is. Someone who knows the purpose of their eumelanin and how it connects to the sun above. You have Ra, the deity, and you have us below, as above, down below. So we are supposed to shine below like he is shining above. And that's why I'm getting all this information from Ra. Okay, Ra. Not no goddamn Hebrew. Not no goddamn Bible reading silly ass nigga on no street corner. My information is way different than what the fuck what's this dude named Garfield is on the internet talking about. The man don't know what he's talking about either. So we can move on because I touched down with who Israel's elite is, and you can study for your damn self. I don't have to overemphasize right now. I'll get to that another day on what our job is. Our job is to shine the light. And our light is going to shine on all liars. So you can witness it live. The melanoma execution. Because just like they burning, niggas is going to burn with the truth. The truth is going to burn their ass. You understand what I'm saying? And I didn't gave y'all the keys already. So I'm going to close this video out, man. Because you know who Ra's elite is. You know who the Pan-Africans is. You know young Pharaoh ain't no goddamn Pharaoh. You know. You know Jabari Osaze is out here promoting scam artists like Marcus Garvey, so he trying to scam your ass again. So you better be thankful, man. You better be thankful, man. That's all I can tell you, man. And I preach to y'all, man. I'll leave y'all with peace. I'll leave y'all with peace, man. And don't be trying to mix us up with them fucking Africans, man. Stop it, man. Be happy that you light-skinned it, man. Embrace your light-skinned people. You know, don't let them tell you mix. Don't let them tell you evolved from some Africans, man. Don't let these niggas fool y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? We young, man. We young and we got a choice, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these Africans fool you, man. You know what I'm saying? Big ups to everybody who know they indigenous to America, man.